Welcome back to the Spark It podcast, where we explore stories, experiences, and insights that spark a fire within so you can go and make that next big move. And I am your host, Patrick CJ, and today I am joined by a wonderful South Sudanese, a trailblazer, and a content creator and storyteller that hosts one of the biggest podcasts that has taken over TikTok and beyond. And he's the founder and host of the Chill Talk podcast, a show that unites South Sudanese, Ugandans, and Kenyan voices through unfiltered conversations with celebrities, influencers, and changemakers. The one and only King George. Welcome to the Spark It podcast.
Well, thank you so much. That introduction is too much. But thank you so much.
Honestly, it does little for the amazing work you're doing.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm really very glad that we are finally having this conversation.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been following the work you're doing and it's amazing.
Oh my God. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm humbled.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. And so I literally thought, this is a conversation that I've been looking forward to in a while. And I thought we could start it by going back to the very beginning of Chill Talk. And we could maybe start by you as the person who founded the Chill Talk podcast. Who is King George before the Chill Talk podcast?
Yeah. Like before the Chill Talk podcast,
Yeah,
I am George Levy.
George.
Yeah, a South Sudanese. But then most of my life, I think I live in Uganda. I grew up in Uganda. I studied in Uganda, like my primary, high school, up to my uni. I was in Uganda. So I think I just started. I think from nursery up to P2. I think up to P2 in South Sudan. But the rest of the years, I was in Uganda. But then in 2016, I went back to South Sudan. When I was there, then that is when the war broke out. Then I became a refugee. I became a refugee where? In Uganda. So before Chill Talk, I am George, a refugee who was living in Uganda. I think that is me. And then I did IT in Bugema University. So that was me before Chill Talk.
Wow, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's almost like the story of most South Sudanese I meet, either in Koboko or in Arua. Most of them are refugees, and most of them probably came to Uganda around that time too.
Yeah, like it's my first time even like being a refugee. I didn't have an idea of being a refugee, but yeah, it happens. Yeah. Like most South Sudanese who are in Uganda, definitely they could be or no, but most of them are refugees.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. And so, given your background, of being a South Sudanese refugee, living in Uganda, and you're quite successful for your age. You've got done with the school, and you're super good at what you do with IT and the podcast and everything. What made you start the Chill Talk podcast? Was there like a moment you thought that I think I have something that I want to say that I would like the world to hear?
Wow. Thank you so much. So before then, when I was in the refugee camp, I was staying in Rhino. I started doing some little work. I started working like my first time. I worked with Child Holland. Yeah, so I work with the children. So the idea was like to work and raise some capital so that I can come and pay myself in the uni. So I worked like for about 3 years, 2 to 3 years like that. Then I resigned from the work. Then I came to Arua. When I came to Arua, I rented a house. I went to the school. I registered. I got the application first, and then they admitted me. Then I paid my tuition. I started moving to school. When I'm done, when I'm done, when I got done with my studies, I sat down and I have my papers, and I'm here in Uganda. Like in Uganda, it's rare like for you to get job. Like being a foreigner, sometimes it needs you to have the national IDs. So I was like, now. So then I have as time continues, like for me being in Arua, I got to realize like South Sudanese are very many here, but the content of South Sudan is not consumed there a lot. So then I think of an idea. So the one thing that came into me, it was Jacksona and Barnabas. That time they started doing music. So when they started doing music, I started posting because these are close friends. I call them like my brothers. So they started posting their songs on YouTube. Then because since these are close people, you have to post. So I got it. I started posting. I think among all the people who are posting, I became like the highest. Then Barnabas like now from there Barnabas started calling me like promoter judge, promoter judge. Then so it became like now people like promoter judge. Then from nowhere he was like, why can't we open a page, a Facebook page? Like we open a page and then it becomes a promoter judge. Then you talk about South Sudan music here in Arua. Then we opened it. I started doing things, writing blogs. The idea is to sell out South Sudan content in Uganda. But then I sit down. You see, almost all the social media of South Sudan, almost they do blogs. And then, but when you read, a lot of people don't read. A lot of people are lazy in reading. They just see the highlights or the title or the heading. They run to comment section and that's all. And I'm like, okay, why can't I open a podcast under Promoter George as another way of reaching or selling out South Sudan content? Then the idea of the podcast came in. So that time I didn't have even like equipments. I have nothing, but then I have the idea. Then the person who was so close to me was Romeo. Romeo has equipments, have mic, like has the camera. Like that time he has a phone that was iPhone. So I reached out to him. I was like, hey, I want to do a podcast. Hey, guy laugh at me. Like serious. So I was telling people like I want to do podcast. Like, man, what are you going to do in podcast? And since he's a very professional in whatever thing he's doing, but just like I want to do it. So what happened is like I started doing research about podcasts. Like right now in my phone, if I give somebody my YouTube, you get bored because they're all podcasts. I watch podcasts like every day. So I was like, there's no problem. I started doing a setup and we started recording. And when we recorded, though I was not that perfect, but I had a zeal. Like I didn't go to the school of podcasting. I didn't go, like I know nothing, but just I have to cram like, hey, yes, they do it like this, they're doing like this, they're doing like this. That is how it started. But I'm so glad that right now it has become one of the best podcast platform in the country where people recognized it and people owned it and they continue saying that right now anything I post, really want people know like here. And there are a lot of episodes right now that now the workload is too much on me. That's why maybe who knows one day I employ people and that stuff to come and work for me. But right now, it is good. So that is how Chill Talk came about. Yeah, from a story of brothers who didn't have a platform for sharing their music. And I feel like it could be an idea of creating that platform for all of them. Like there are many who are out there who needed a platform so that their songs, maybe their voices to be heard and that stuff. Then I think the idea developed into big. It grew from very limited, maybe space, limited people, content. Then it became broader. Yeah.
Wow, that is such a story. It almost sounds like it's something that happened unaccidentally.
Yeah. Like the coming of it is like, I was like, now, what if this guy didn't become musician? Maybe it won't happen. But we don't know also. Maybe it might happen. But still, at the end of the day, it happened. Through them, like I really appreciate them by the way, because since they became musician and since we are friends, I go to everybody's contact, like, hey, this guy I think there are some videos I check, some guys, I go to their videos, they when this guy released his song, Manga, yeah, Barnabas. I used to share, man, like all over, like on Facebook. Yeah, that time I didn't have like a page. It was just George Levy. I was like, okay, let me be there. But then later I discovered like, no, maybe let me go deeper. And right now, yeah, it's doing well.
Right now, you have one of the biggest podcast. I would say from South Sudan, the most listened. Yeah, I think people listen to it a lot, especially on TikTok.
Yeah. TikTok
It has the biggest following. Yeah, which I think is fantastic.
and Facebook.
Yeah, and Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah, and honestly, like it's very inspiring to me to see that when we recognize a challenge, we acknowledge it, and then we start, instead of coming out to complain, coming out to blame people, you went to find a solution to the problem. Yeah. Instead of going around blaming people, you know what, these people are not giving us platform. You decided to create
a
your
platform,
own.
yeah.
Yes. And now the platform that you created to give yourself space and to give others the space and their voice to be heard, now it has grown and is now providing space for people beyond your inner cycles that the platform was designed to do from the initial start. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I feel like it's one of those things that we as South Sudanese youth, we need to take up this mentality that you have, of recognizing, of seeing a problem that exists and instead finding ways to solve this problem. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Like there's this podcast I read. I think I watched it is podcast. I think documentary about how Nike came, the Nike shoes. So the Nike shoes came in a very simple way. So this person was telling me, was saying, Nike shoes came in a very narrow problem. Like they saw people playing football, but then they were using, I think, shoes, but these shoes, I think they were not comfortable. They are not like that. They are really not comfortable with it. So they thought of, I think, okay, I should cut that story because it's not clear with me. We will cut that part. Yeah. So, but then, according to the idea was like, there was a problem that Nike saw. I think either these people were playing bare feet, then they thought of introducing shoes. Okay, I cannot recall the story properly. I cannot recall it. Yeah, maybe you'll cut all these parts. Yeah. I think it's either football or running. Yeah. So when they saw the problem, so when Nike saw the problem, they started thinking of bringing shoes for these athletes. So they thought of like, what if they get a shoes that can make these people feel comfortable, they feel light when they are running, and also increases their speed. When the shoes are light and you're comfortable, it increases your speed. But now when the shoes are very like heavy on your road, on your leg, right, sometimes even lifting it, you're already reducing some energy. So when they saw that problem, they thought of reducing what? They thought of solving that problem. So when they solved it, but the thing became worldwide. So like at that point when you brought like narrowing it to friends, then it became something big. Yeah, like I'm really, really happy right now because you find that there are people who their voices are not heard. And there are very many, many people out there that their voices needed to be heard. But they don't have the platform. But now when Chill Talk came in, a lot of people now started, George, can I share my story? Can I share my story?
It's definitely amazing that you took up the initiative and initiated the Chill Talk podcast. Yeah, because I feel like, just like we have already discussed, sometimes we see and identify a problem that really is one, but we do not spend much time thinking about a solution to that problem than we do maybe complaining about that problem. You see, like I've spoken to a lot of people who are either unemployed, and you will hear some of them just complain about how they're not getting called back and stuff like that, but they never really concentrate on maybe rethinking how else they could get employed, or maybe by just employing themselves, starting something else of their own, and you become your own employer. Yeah. And you see, right now, you are self-employed, and you're already talking about employing others.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
You see,
Yeah.
so from a refugee camp, you are now a job creator. Yeah, which is kind of very inspiring. But also another thing I see really is, I think it's really good that the Chill Talk podcast has inspired other podcasts into existence that are now able to tell South Sudanese stories. Yeah, and basically sell South Sudanese content. And I think now we have lots of podcasts in existence and others that are still coming up. And we now see South Sudanese content almost everywhere. And that is important. Yeah, because it contributes to strengthening, let's say, our music industry, our fashion industry, our economy in general, including attracting investors and tourists into the country. Yeah, yeah. So it's amazing to have huge assets to the country like yourself.
Yeah, man. Like, thank you. So you're making me look big, man. Like, but thank you.
Honestly,
Yeah.
it's amazing. Yeah, and one thing I love about how you started the Chill Talk podcast is how you did not wait to have everything perfect before you could start.
Yeah.
You did not wait to have all the equipments for
Of
you to
course.
start.
Of course.
And I feel that is a mistake we make so many times.
So now this is the thing. I think I have this thing with me. Like sometimes when I go inside,
Yeah.
bro, like I watch a lot. I watch a lot about documentaries. I watch a lot about people, especially people who are successful, wherever. And then almost all of them say like, start with what is available. Because like if you don't start, how will you know that it will work out? Just why this friend Sasanet, Shasha, I was having an idea of doing in Juba. So I have some crazy idea I wanted to do in Juba, but I'm kind of afraid of doing it. Then I told her, she was like, if you didn't do, you will not know what the result will be. What if you do, George? Find out. Because right now, if you don't know, if you didn't do it, you will not know what is the result. And I was like, oh. But still, I did not do it. I think when I go back, I'm going to do about that. Yeah. So I feel like doing something is more crucial than without doing, than just saying, and also being consistent. I know I'm not perfect. Like my podcast is not the perfect podcast. There are a lot of better podcasts in South Sudan, whatever. But just what I put myself is like, at least somebody who will know that there's something new coming out. Being consistent in the game, and it gives you room for improvement. Even sometimes there are certain things that I know they are mistakes that I see them happen. Sometimes I do them purposely so that I give time so that when I do changes, people will know like, oh, there's growth. There's room for growth. But now, like you start perfect, there are a lot of people who have started perfect, but they're nowhere to be seen. You don't know what happened? They have the best hosts, they have better cameras, better mics, wherever, but they are nowhere to be seen. I do not know why. So just I have that belief like, yeah, George, you can do it. Without, just go. Yeah.
And I feel like honestly, there's no more powerful message than what you've done. It speaks for itself. Yeah. If you have an idea, start now. Yeah. You don't need to wait to have everything for you to start. Start it straight away. Yeah. The challenges you meet are going to teach you, you're going to learn along the way, and you'll make improvements along the way.
Of course. Yeah. Because when there are no challenges, how will you solve a problem? Because you just challenges gives you to think. And then it helps you also strengthen like the vision of whatever thing you're doing. Because this thing comes in like this. There are people because they have seen, since it's all over, maybe let me start my podcast. Without knowing like, hey nigga, like there are a lot of challenges people go through. Sometimes even you can go to the guest, like, I don't want to be hosted. Like before when I started hosting, nobody wanted to be hosted. Because I feel like I'm too young, like for the podcast is too young, the platform is too small. How can you host me wherever? But at the end of the day, when that thing comes from you and you have the passion of doing something, you can do it. But then there are people because they have seen maybe the Chris Brown, the John Frog have organized big shows in Juba. Maybe let me become a musician. Maybe who knows that out. But then one, maybe you don't have the talent. Two, maybe you don't have the passion of doing it. Because you have seen these people are looking good, you want to do something. But I think it doesn't work like this. Yeah, it works with what I think is good with you, and you feel you enjoy whatever thing you're doing. Like for me, whether there is money or there's money, I just do my thing, and I enjoy it. And the part of enjoyment is the thing that makes it so sweet.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, I agree with you because if it is not something you love, it's almost hard for you to stay consistent when you're hit with challenges. Yeah. You can almost just quit. Yeah. So yeah, I totally agree with you. It's like very, very important to do it out of love and to have a very strong reason why you're doing it. Because that will be your strongest motivation.
Of course.
When things get hard.
Of course. Yeah, sure.
Because definitely it's not gonna be a bed of roses. Yeah. Damn. and right now, this is inspiring because from a refugee camp to founding and hosting one of the biggest podcasts currently, which is amazing. And I'm just wondering, like for you, I know you hinted this already from the start. What were some of the biggest challenges you faced as you were starting early on?
Yeah, like one, I didn't have knowledge about doing podcasts. Like totally. I'm just seeing them like even like the word podcast, like okay, podcast. It's like not our thing. I just got to learn about it. Like you see them from the Western world. You see from the whites. Or at least you come to Nigeria, you come to Uganda, and you see in Central also. Like you see with people who speak good English. Maybe man, like it's something crazy, like so big. So one, I didn't have knowledge about what podcast is. I didn't think of one day that even I will have a podcast. Yeah. So but then the good thing is like I was living with the people who have ideas about podcasts and that stuff. And then what I did a lot, I was using the internet a lot to do research. Like to go and watch. Even sometimes I go like, how do you start? like for the introduction part. How do you start a podcast? How do you start a conversation? I didn't go to the class for it, but just I learn. I go do research. Like YouTube becomes like my university. I go, I see how people start a podcast, how a podcast is set up. How can you introduce a guest? How can you make your guest comfortable? How can you make your guest like those kind of conversation? Like my search bar is just like how like until like every day. Like I'm obsessed. Like my data burns out of that. So like one, I lacked knowledge at the beginning, which was the biggest challenge, but then I kept doing it. Secondly, I lacked like equipment, because trust me, a lot of people say they want to do podcasts wherever. Those things are very expensive. Like a mic is expensive. Camera is expensive. Like to have lights, like it's not an easy thing. Like it's really expensive. So those are some of the challenges I get, and sometimes movement. Going to one location because I don't have a studio. Like I have to go to hotels like, hey, can you give me a space? I want to host my guests wherever. But then you find that sometimes this hotel accepts, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they want you to pay money. Okay, if you want to access our space, pay us money. Then when there's no money, you will not record an episode. You get it. And then there are some guests. There's some guests when I was starting the thing, I reached out to him. I was like, hey, can I host you and that stuff? Guy accepted. The day for the hosting, like, hey, where are you? Guy doesn't pick calls. You call. We call like over 10 times. Guy didn't pick calls. Was so disappointed. So you find that there are some guests, they accept, and at the end of the day, they reject.
Yeah.
But right now, they're chasing me.
They are now the one coming.
Yeah, they wanted to be hosted. Yeah, but I will host them though. I will not pay back. Yeah, life is always like that,
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, those are some of the challenges that honest life face, and sometimes finance. Like I left my job, like the work I was doing. I was just too much putting like 100% of my time towards developing the podcast. The little money I get, I pour all in the podcast, buy equipment and that stuff, all to make sure that these podcasts grow. So like financially like this, a really big challenge, because now the idea is big. Like it's going to be beyond podcasts. Like it's going to be beyond podcasts, because the thing is that there are a lot of people out there who have talent, like maybe better than me and that stuff. They have ideas about content creation and whatever. Now, what if I think of having a platform, like creating, maybe having a content hub space where you can come in and train people. People learn about content creation. People learn about branding, how important is branding, how they can do like the way other people do, how can they earn from their from their content and that stuff. Because I was like, there are a lot of challenges like in the country beyond even sharing our information. So like that was the idea. That is the idea, because now the more like these days when I've been in Juba, I was seeing I just might going there. Yeah, people see like I'm having fun or whatever. But no, I'm seeing what challenges are there. How can I fix those challenges using my platform? Okay, beyond my platform, apart from sharing, because now, yeah, I can bring you in my podcast and we have conversation. What next? There are people out there who they would want to be like maybe the artist, or would want to be like the entrepreneur, the business person, or whatever. Then like maybe I will think of having a space and then train people about content creation, or maybe having a studio where if people cannot afford to go to the hotels and wherever, they can come in and host with a very cheaper price. You get it? Yeah. So like finance right now is one of the things that is killing me. But lucky enough is that I document everything of mine. I put it down so that I get prepared, because somebody was like, man, don't get money when you're not prepared. Because there are people that if you don't know how to use money, You get money when you're not prepared, you're going to misuse the money. Time will come in where money will come in, and you will know that, yes, I have this project, I have this gap to fix, I have this gap to fix. So right now, like, I'm preparing myself. In every step, every day, I write things down, preparing myself to become a very powerful platform that is not only doing podcasts, but doing other events, doing other activities around.
Right.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a dreamer.
Yeah, very good. I love calling myself to be a visionary. Like, I want to be a visionary. Like, just this name started like recently. Like, I think a lot. Like, I want to be, I think like, I just like, I want to be a visionary. Like, I vision thing, then I put it down, and I want those things to happen. Yeah. So I love when you brought that name, because that thing was in me, because I was like, George, be a visionary.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Like, you see beyond today,
Right.
see beyond tomorrow, and think something that is gonna last forever. Because now, whatever I'm dead, God forbid though.
Yeah. God forbid.
Yeah.
We still need you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Chilton gonna die? No, that's not a thing. Chilton has to continue.
Yes.
Yeah.
It has to live on.
Yeah, that is it.
Yeah. And one thing, honestly, that I've loved about some of the challenges you talked about, and some of the ways, you responded to resolve some of those challenges is amazing. I think that sometimes we are able to recognize that we have, for example, let's say, gaps in knowledge or skills about a particular thing. But we know for sure that there are people within our circles that exist who could come in and help us. But for some reason, we are always either afraid to ask for help or are too proud to ask for help. But in your case, it was different. You were able to go and ask for help.
Yeah.
And it paid off. It did big time.
Yeah, now, this is the so I don't know, maybe how I'm made, but I'm very happy, because you find that this chill talk became very powerful. It's just not through my struggle, honestly. Friends came in and supported. Sometimes I may not get equipment from here. Other people can come like, George, I have equipment. Come and record your thing. Even sometimes for free. Guys motivated me. Like, George, you can do it. I swear, it's just from people. And like, it's like, oh. Sometimes there are some equipment I use, very powerful equipment. But then, if those guys were to give some people, they pay. But me, they don't pay. Like, they don't ask for any charges. Like, George, record. Anytime you want, you're welcome. Like, oh.
You see that?
It's amazing.
I know.
Yeah.
It's amazing what can happen when you're able to ask for help when you need one.
That is it.
Yeah. It doesn't like matter whether those people are going to give you or not. You lose nothing by asking for help.
Yeah, you lose nothing.
Yes.
Yeah. That's why I think there's this Bible thing that stick in me.
Yeah.
And that is the truth. If you don't ask, you don't receive.
Yeah.
If you don't knock, the door won't be open. Absolutely. Somebody will just be there at the door. And if that person doesn't knock, we'll not know. Yeah. And I swear that thing works.
It does.
It is better you ask than never. Who knows this person has? Yeah. Unless this person doesn't have, then you're like, hey, no, sorry. Yeah. Honestly, I don't have. Yes. But I wish I have, I could. Yes. Then this person, sometimes there are those people like, okay, since I don't have, maybe let me first try to find out from one of my friends. Mm-hmm. And she continues. Yeah. And sometimes the other friend will have, and they will help you. Absolutely. Yeah.
And so honestly, I love this, because I feel like sometimes we lock ourselves out of opportunities that we would have access to because we refuse or are too proud to ask for help. Yeah. And it's amazing that, your friends and community showed up for you.
That is it.
Big time.
And big time, yeah. And they are continuing helping me, man. Like, I'm very happy.
Honestly, big up to them.
True.
Yeah. I feel like, and it is connected to the idea of asking for help, because I feel like if you are in need of something and your friends and community do not know, it can be difficult for them to show up for you. Yeah. But if you're able to share it, someone might have something, they can say, oh, I have, you can use it. Or they would say they do not have it because truly they lack it. And they have someone in their own cycle that has what you're looking for. And they could become the link between you and what you're looking for. Yeah. So honestly, I feel like super important. Ask for help.
Yeah, ask for help. Like, if you can, do it. Because they say sometimes problem being said is half solved. Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you don't ask,
Yes.
my brother, you won't get it.
Yeah.
Unless if you have everything.
Yeah.
But it's still sometimes even you may not have salt, but the neighbor has.
Yes.
Like, go and ask, man. Keep that pride down. Put the ego down.
You lose nothing by asking. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And also leverage your friends and community. Yeah. Yeah. They will show up for you. And honestly, another thing is, as you were speaking, I was like, I like this guy. Yeah, because you recognized that you had a problem, and the problem had to do with the knowledge. And now, if you want to do something, you definitely probably want to get to understand what that thing is, and maybe the basics, at least the fundamentals on how to do something like that. And in this case, for you, it was the podcast, and you knew you did not have the skills for it, the knowledge for it. And what you did was you made the internet your friend. While other people are just busy on reels of people dancing and what, you were busy learning tutorials on how to do a podcast. And I feel like we need to improve on how we use the internet. Yeah. Because most times, look at you used the internet very constructively. And as a result, today we have one of the biggest podcasting platforms in South Sudan. Imagine if you just used it, for just watching those dancing and the reels, and that you're endlessly scrolling. You learn nothing and forget nothing.
Not to cut you short. I live a lot with Jexana. So Jexana is one of the guy who is very, like, this guy is intelligent. This guy is very wise. He was like, why is he going to the internet? Have you ever asked yourself, why do you go to the internet? And then sometimes we were like, I'm just going for TikTok. Why are you watching the TikTok? Just to have fun. Then what next? So, then he was like, do you know what, George? I have this idea, like, I just don't want to go to the internet. I think if I want to go to the internet, I should go and search for what I want, then come out. Because the internet is so addictive that if you're not serious, you'll be there, you'll not learn anything. You just laugh. So, like, trust me, my search bar on YouTube, you'll get bored. It's all like podcasts. Even today, like, now, this is what I've done for myself. I trained myself. Since I'm in the podcast world, I have to make sure I be in my standard. I have to make sure I have to improve in my standard by watching different kind of people, even the way how they speak, how they interact with people. It's very important because look at there are some people who feel like they are professionals in whatever thing they do. Because of ego, pride, not giving like a room for learning, there are people who just come and overtake them. They are bankers, managers. They feel that they are comfortable working there, but they don't know there's somebody who have learned even times 10 and can speak the bank language in and out. And for you, you're there, you think like you're the best. But now, I was like, nah. So what I do is, even I watch our own podcast. I watch Spark It. I see what lesson can I learn from the Spark It, and I love Spark It podcast. Yeah. So like I go there, I watch. I see conversation. I see how you people do. Because at the end of the day, it could be nice thing, the way how you set up, the way how you start conversation, the way how you raise questions. And like there could be a lot of things that one can learn. And also like our fellow South Sudanese, their podcast, I compare every day with mine. So that I make sure I be in the line mark. So that I don't be behind, but I make sure that I have to be there. So like I make sure I use the internet as well. Like any person out there, like trust me, you have internet, the career, whatever. Even if you're a teacher, use the internet to hack some of the ways of how you can do your work. There are a lot of hack ways of how you can make your work so easy. You're a musician. Now every day you have to make life simple for you by learning new things, new styles, so that you don't be behind. So like I go to the internet, I post, I go, like YouTube becomes my everything. Just right now, I cannot live without the internet. Like internet becomes like one of my basic needs. And I have to make sure that it pays me back.
Right.
Yeah.
And it does.
Yeah, sure. It does.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, I totally agree with you. Like, we have to be open to learning.
Yeah.
Every single day.
Every single day.
Yeah.
Learn something new. Like every day. At least learn something new. Yes. From a person, from the internet, from their book, from anything, from a song you're listening to. Learn something. Yeah. Just don't live your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, honestly, Patrick, if you don't have value in a society, nobody gives a damn for you. There are people that say like, no, if I become rich, that is when I will earn respect. Yeah, trust me, you get the respect, but there are the respects being earned by some value where you create those value, some characters that you come with it. Now imagine you have those characters and then the money comes in. The respect is times 10. But then you have the money. Yeah, of course, people can respect you. Let the money go away. Nobody respects you again. But then there are some standards of living where create a value for your life. Like create something that somebody can point at you like, oh, you know what? That is my friend. But nigga, be that reckless. Who will want to point that that's my friend? Even your girlfriend won't point like, you know, that is my boyfriend. Or that is my girlfriend. Yeah, so for me, I feel like creating a value for yourself is really, really, really like very important.
Yeah, that's true. I agree.
Yeah.
And each time we learn, we are adding value to
We're
ourselves.
adding value, that is it.
Yeah.
So the value comes in when you're learned. That's why some people, when they go to the school, when they go to the community and this person is learned. And then when the learned person does something stupid, they're like, what is wrong with this person? He's learned. Yeah, I think you have ever come across these things like, Mene autu sukulu, like he has gone to the university, but he's acting so stupid. Instead of those people who did not learn from him. It means learning brings value to your life. But then if you don't learn, it means you're losing your value in the community.
And also if you've gone to school and you've learned and you behave like someone who read the back of the book, becomes an issue.
It becomes a very big issue.
Yeah. And honestly, for me, like a key takeaway from here is we need to become lifelong learners. Yeah. We should learn every single day. Yeah. Oh man, this is good. And you know, like the idea of documentation that you mentioned earlier is really good. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. It's like, it's a very good way to actually, you know, stay on track. Should you, for example, get resources that maybe are either allocated to what you have documented or maybe not, you know, you just get a wholesome amount of money, maybe from somewhere that, you know, this is for you. Invest in the podcast or invest in yourself. And if you do not have, you know, some of these things documented, you almost might not know what to invest in, and you might just, misuse the money, use it recklessly, and in no time, all of it is gone. And you're back to where you were before you received a penny. Yeah. Yeah. So I love that you're doing that. Is you're documenting and you're budgeting and forecasting, what you would want or how much you would want to make the improvements you want to see. That's amazing. Yeah. It's honestly one of those things that I feel even in our own personal lives, we need to do. Yeah. With our personal finances or our business finances, if we have a business or something like that. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We need to.
Yeah. But I think, honestly, listening to your story, one thing that I see is, great things can start from unexpected places. Yeah. Who would have thought that your displacement to the refugee camp, that experience would produce one of the biggest podcasts in South Sudan?
Yeah, so that is it. Like there are a lot of question marks a lot, but then the question mark is still like, what if I didn't come to Uganda? What if I didn't come to the refugee camp? Like, what if I didn't come to Arua? I remain in the refugee camp also. That is another thing.
There's an author, I don't know if you know him. He's called Robert Hill Schuller. He wrote a book called Tough Times Never Last, but Tough People Do. In that book, he says, there are always opportunities in problems, but those opportunities can only be seen and found by people who are willing to look for them. Yeah. Otherwise, you just look at problems as problems. But you know what? Problems are not just problems. They can be signposts that are directing, you know what? You need to do maybe A. You need to do B.
Yeah.
You say.
Yeah, I love that. Because sometime back I used to be, I don't know why I've become too lazy in reading, but I used to read a lot. Somebody was telling me how problems are. And until I felt like problems are important in a society. Like, problems are very, very important. Because now, what if there was no problem? Like, imagine back then people were footing.
Yeah.
Now you want to go a long distance. It's a problem. Then people are like, now we're footing. What should we do? Then somebody are like, what if we make something like a bicycle? What if we make a car? Maybe flying. Now, like, problems. That's why there was I had my phone, the other phone got lost. Yeah. I had a phone, that phone I screenshot. They said like, how can you get money? This guy brought like 4 steps of how you can get money. Because he was like, through problem, right? Yeah. So this problem needs to be solved. Yes. So it's either you provide a service to solve the problem, right? Now, like, for example, it's a hospital. Hospital provides service, which is what? Healing people. So the service you're providing is what? Healing people. So deep down you is healing people. It's a problem you're solving. But at the end of the day, it is generating for you the money. So like putting the focus of solving the problem, at the end of the day, it generates for you the money. You get it? Now, like for me right now, I'm solving a problem where right now my focus will be in solving the problem than what? Thinking of the money. Because by default, the money will come.
Yes, as you solve the problems.
As I solve the problem. But when you fail to solve the problem and then you look into the money, just why you find that some hospitals have death rate. And when the death rates are high, people fear going there. Because you find that one, maybe the hospital becomes very too expensive. And then the people that they are brought in, they are not qualified. And then since they are not qualified, there are a lot of cases. Instead of thinking of what can we do so that we have low death rate and we solve that problem. And the moment you people have less death rate, you have high chances of what? Of customers. And that's why you find that, like, let me say, for example, where we are in Arua, they compare with buses, which buses has a lot of accident. So when they see a bus company does a lot of accident, people fear going there. You get it? But now where they see less, it means they are providing a service that is so sufficient, safe, and then you find business continues.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
That is so true.
So like thinking on how to solve the problem should become like a paramount.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Problems are important.
Very, very important.
It's how we as a society make progress.
Yeah. And when you put zeal into it and solve the problem, trust me, you'll get something out of it.
Absolutely. Actually, my friend Isaac, that we co-founded Jobs to Apply with, he said, the more problems we solve, the more money we'll have.
That is it.
Yeah.
True.
And that's true.
Very true, bro.
That is so true.
Yeah.
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 Because look at these billionaires.
Yeah. These people are not sleeping. Always they have to find
They're
problems.
always identifying what is the problem.
What is the problem?
Yeah. What can be a solution to it? And I feel like we need to start having that as our day-to-day mentality. We don't just look at problems just as they are. Yeah. We look at the problems, we try to understand them deeper, and we start to think, how can we solve this? Yeah. And probably solve it in a way that can bring money to our pockets too. Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah. And so I wanted to actually ask you this, because Chill Talk feels deeply rooted in culture, but it's also very unique and different in how it is. How do you strike the balance between spotlighting trends, for example, maybe, in music, because you do a lot of, celebrity interviews, the guests that you host and stuff like that, but also staying authentic to your own purpose of creating the podcast?
Yeah. So now, when I came up with the idea of creating the podcast, that's why you can see here the name Chill.
Yeah.
Like, it's a chill conversation. So you find that when you're having a chill conversation, like a very relaxed conversation, is where you find that honesty comes in. Is where you live freely. It's just not like an interview where you have to pump this person, like, how journalists are. What? Like, they pump a lot to you, and then you have to answer those questions. And that is not the style of how I do my podcast. So like, it's like a conversation where I need to have a conversation with this person. So sometimes I tell my guests like, hey, this is not a place of hype. Like, you come and hype yourself. I'm this. I'm like, no, be yourself. You get it? Speak the part of you. Speak that part of you, because people wanted to know who you are. You get it? Then just you want to make noise. It's a platform to create a trend for yourself. But at the end of the day, like, no, that's not the kind of the interviews I do. That's why in South Sudan, there are a lot of interviews where people do a lot of interviews. But at the end of the day, people wanted to create an interview where it should create a trend, where this person has to talk like ill maybe upon the other person, or or maybe they're like, you talk about your dressing code, how much do you spend in a day, do you have a car, wherever. No. So I remain like, I keep my conversation, just why like sometimes I don't want to sound in my conversation. There's a guest I hosted. Well, like, for you, your podcast is like, it needs a lot of explanation. And definitely that is what I want. Explain your point. Explain why you're doing this thing, so that your fans or your audience listens to you, knows why you're doing certain thing. You get it? So it's just not about like, yes, I want to interview your celebrity. That's why there are some people, I don't think if I'll go and interview them. Yeah. There are some people that I know, because like, you keep yourself high class, you'll be there. If you feel like your information is important, be there. You get it? But then there's people like, hey, please, let us have a really be yourself. Like the way how other countries you find that they have this kind of podcast where it really they speak the inner part of themselves, their weaknesses and that stuff. And that is the idea of how I wanted this podcast to be. Like no hurrying. That's why there was a guest, Emmanuel Lasuima. He's a legend in the industry.
you hosted him?
Not yet.
Okay.
So I wanted to host him. So he was not feeling well. I think family stuff and that stuff. The dad is sick and that stuff. I'm like, no, I cannot host him in that kind of situation because at the end of the day, he can be maybe traumatized, stressed because of the dad and that stuff. So at the end of the day, you may not get good information from this person. I feel like, nah, just relax. Let everything be okay. You feel like you're comfortable, you're okay. Then we have the conversation. Yeah.
That's very lovely. I love that you have concern for your guests. That's very important. I feel like sometimes we really don't pay attention to the health and mental health of our guests, or maybe how those conversations are going to impact their health or mental health. And I feel it's super important we do. Yeah, as podcasters, as people with the platform, we need to pay attention to that, such that our guests feel safe and we can have honest, unfiltered conversations that add value. Yeah, yeah, to the community and to what we are doing. Yeah, yeah, amazing. And you've done almost like close to 40 episodes right now.
Yeah.
I think close to 40.
Yeah, it's 35.
35. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
close
you're
to 40.
approaching the 40 mark.
Yeah.
That's very close.
Yeah, very.
It's been such a ride.
Yeah. It is.
It's been such a ride.
It is.
Yeah. I remember when, we hit our 10 mark and we were like, damn, we never thought we would do this. Because for us, we started it just for fun. So like, we have free time in our hands, a couple of hours or so. Why did we just, share our thoughts there? Yeah. So it's amazing that you're doing that. Now, out of like the 35 episodes that you've had so far, what is the most memorable interview that you had with maybe which guest, or maybe the most memorable moment, and why you think so?
Wow. One of the think one of the conversation that I really had. Man, almost all of them are memorable.
Yeah.
But one of the thing is I like the conversation I had with Epas, because that is my first episode I hosted alone.
Yeah.
Like I sit down, I see it, and with the musician who is a superstar in the country, I go back and see like, George, you did it. Like it's one of the episodes that I easily don't forget about it, because like I started like before we used to host too, but then like time came in where George, you have to take it. And when I went, I started with a big person. I was like, then I had that conversation and how honest he is. And what make it more memorable is it's one of the first episode that bloggers from the Central tagged me. Because that was a time when Apase is releasing his album. He mentioned the date of when he was going to release his current album. He mentioned it in Chill Talk. And then there is this Igbo report. Those bloggers in Kampala and that stuff. It's not easy like to get even those people posting about you, even tag you. They tag. Where did they get the information? From Chill Talk. And that was my first time. I'm like, oh my God. I hold my hand. I'm like, George, you did it.
You did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was so happy because now imagine there are how many media houses are in Kampala. There are very many. Then the judge who is just from the refugee camp, Apis just came to share his release of his album, and he talked very nicely, and there were a lot of quotation. And then Apis even shared it. I was like, now imagine a lot of people are seeing me in Apis' platform. It was good.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
It's lovely, honestly.
indeed.
Yeah. And actually, wow, it's amazing. I feel like for me, when I look at, because that episode I think is one of the most watched episodes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's one of the most watched. Yeah.
And when you, for me, when I look at it, it was your first time interviewing by yourself or hosting the podcast only by yourself. I feel like it says a lot about your own confidence and
That
self-esteem.
is it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It takes a lot of courage and confidence and self-esteem to be able to go and do something like that for the first time. And not just, with an upcoming artist,
Yeah.
a superstar.
a superstar, my brother.
Yeah.
A superstar. Huh? You grew up listening to him.
Yeah.
Then at the end of the day, you sit with him.
Yeah.
And he became a news.
Which is lovely. Yeah. You honestly, I feel like listening to you right now, it's like you give me more reason to encourage people to really be confident, because sometimes we miss out on a lot of opportunities just because we have low self-esteem. We are not confident enough. You see? Yeah. If only we can just trust our gut. If only we could believe in ourselves a little bit. You never know where it would take you. Yeah. The first time, of course, it will be scary. Yeah. You're like, what the hell am I going to? Yeah. But eventually, you get it done with, and you're like, oh, shoot, I did it. Yeah. And before you know it, you have the second, you have the third.
The third.
And now you have 35.
Man, 35. 36 is coming. Huh?
I know.
Man, like, bro, like somebody was telling me, the judge, right now you are the only person that has the highest episodes currently in South Sudan amongst all podcasts. It's like, oh, I didn't know. Because for me, what I do, I have to make sure on Sunday I post. Because the thing is, like, I didn't put myself like in the room, like I want to compete with the other platforms, but I make sure that I encourage, let them open more podcasts. Because that helps a lot, because there's this gap, there's this problem that came in. I do Wikipedia articles, like I create articles on Wikipedia. I do contribution and other stuff. Man, like, you want to write about our fellow artists, you want to write about people who are very, very important in the society. You cannot write about them because their information are not on the internet. They are not, because Wikipedia is full of fact check. Like, you have to get a link. Like, my name is George Levy. Where is it written? His name is George Levy. Or King George. Where is it written? Okay, he does podcasts. Where did you find that information? Put it there. Like, Wikipedia is like that. So that is the reason why most of our South Sudanese artists are not there. And because of what? There are less platforms that are recognized. I get it. So I'm very, very, I'm very, very happy, like, seeing a lot of podcasts around. And like, because I just have that heart. Like, please come ask me in case you have something. And just when I was in Juba, there are some people, some content creators, they come and what? Request for my mics, request for anything that I have. I was like, man, use it, then bring back to me, but make sure it should not get spoiled, because one day it may help you. So like, just please, I don't make myself like I want to be a very, very hard person to reach to. I'm very easy, like, to reach to wherever you want to do your thing. And you find difficulty, it is people who helped me to be where I am. Why should I be just hard? Nah, that's not the hard I have.
That's amazing. And honestly, like you, I believe that as young South Sudanese and as podcasters, even though for me I am not a full-time podcaster, but as young South Sudanese, I think it's super important to help each other grow. Yeah. Helping each other grow is super important. Yeah. It's like, instead of getting into this business of trying to compete with each other, how about we get into this business of working together with each other? And then, amplifying our work as a collective. Yeah. Before you know it, in a short time, we have the most powerful platforms. Yeah. And these platforms play a huge role in amplifying our music, our economy, our fashion, and everything, our culture.
Yeah. And this is the way how people rate like how the country is, like in terms of development. There are people who wanted to, maybe tourists, before they come into a country, let them search about South Sudan. Or maybe when they reach South Sudan, maybe they want to meet these people, these kind of people. Or maybe there could be some content creators. What do they do in South Sudan? It's very important. Like it is. Yeah.
It is very important. And honestly, like one thing I see is, it's very important for platforms like this to not only exist, but also to work with each other and to compare notes whenever possible, and to just generally, help each other grow. It's the only way. Yeah. Yeah. Rather than, remaining islands. And honestly, for me, I believe that we rise by lifting
Lifting others.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I believe in that 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we gotta support each other.
We have to get, yeah. We have to support.
Yeah.
We have to support.
Yeah. So I know, like, this is something you actually mentioned that, and it's so true. There are so many podcasts that are now mushrooming because of the Chill Talk podcast, because of many other podcasts that are existing. And I have been meaning to actually ask you, like, for you, when you look at all of these podcasts that are now coming, and maybe many other content creators or young people could be from South Sudan, who would also like to start a podcast. What is the behind the scenes work that they don't see about podcasting that you would wish they see?
Yeah. It's not hard, but it's hard.
It's not hard, but it is hard. Break it down for us.
So, like I always say, starting something, have a reason why you're starting something. Like when you know the reason, definitely you'll succeed in whatever thing you're doing. Have your target audience. Don't go just all over. Don't go everywhere. Or maybe according to the target you have these particular people, and then you reach out to them, because not that everyone you can please in this world. You get it? There are people who don't like my podcast. There are people who like my podcast. And there's no way I can convince those people who don't like to like my podcast to play according to their tune. No, do your stuff. But there are major things that you should learn about podcasts. One, because podcast there are two types of podcasts though. Like there's audio and then visuals, where you can decide like to be offline like a radio, and then just record your audio and then you share. And then there's this one where right now we're doing a visuals, both audio and video. So you decide which kind of podcast you want to do. So now if you're coming to audio, make sure you know how to what? Edit audio. That's another behind scene that you have to learn. Learn audio editing. Or else, you make sure you get good mics and start using. Or else, you use what is available, which is what? The phone. To record it. Coming to audio and what? Video. Make sure you know how to edit video. So those are some of the skills that how also important podcast brings to you. You start learning how sound is, the importance of video, and at the end of the day, you can become a director. You start shooting for people videos, but then you have to learn how to edit video, which is a very, very important thing. Like before, it's just not about the speaking. Make sure you know your audio quality is very good, the visual is very good. Then the other thing is that I think podcast is just not about interviews. It's about what do you want to gain from this person? It's the most important thing. Yeah. At the end of the day, I can laugh, I can do that, but at the end of the day, you have to pick something that you want the audience to know. You get it? So that is another thing. Like, know why you're doing something. Why are you hosting this particular person? You get it? Those are the behind things, then you have to have it in your head. Yeah. Why you're getting this person in your podcast, the reason why you're hosting him, know how to edit videos, because those are the things that it's very important. Your audios. And yeah, I think it's very, very important. Yeah.
Absolutely. And honestly, I feel like just adding on to what you've already said, which is solid, you don't need to have a perfect setup.
Yeah.
Start with what you have in your hands.
True.
Start with the available resources.
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
Grow up from there.
Grow up from there.
Yeah.
Grow. Like you can see my podcast, man, is so disorganized. Like in terms of venues, today you can see me in a very fancy place. Next day you see me in a very but I was like, no, I have to record. Record it. Let them be there. 5 to 10 years, you see back, like, is that me?
Yeah.
Those are steps of growth. Like starting where you are is good for me. Like as you said, start it. Don't think of the setup. Today you may not have the good camera, but the phone you have can do for you the work.
Yeah. And before you know it, you never know.
You're
somewhere far.
You're somewhere
You're
far.
like George.
For sure.
Yeah. So you have grown so much. Yeah. Within a very short time. And honestly, it gives hope, I think, to many young people, to many podcasters, because you have stayed consistent, and it's very important for anyone who would like to start a podcast or any other thing. Doesn't matter. You have to stay consistent. That is like the key ingredient to almost everything. So you have been very consistent, and you have been constantly learning along the way. And because of that, your podcast has grown so much to a point that you now have a partnership with the local Discoveries TV.
Yes.
Huge. Yeah. How has that changed Chill Talk podcast?
Wow, like it has changed a lot. I want to really appreciate a local Discovery TV. They do mainly online streaming, like online interviews, like live. So it's so funny, like how we met. It is just like I've just believed like there are a lot of people out there watching. Even though you're doing what, trust me, there are people who are watching you. So for me, the thing is, when I was just doing my podcast, I just continue interviewing. I don't know. I see them local Discovery on Facebook. They are doing, because they hosted some of my friends wherever I see them. But I didn't think that one day we can do some work together. Yeah. I was then doing my thing. I was like, they're doing interviews. That's wonderful. You get it? Even there was a day I got pissed up with them. Yeah. That time came up now. I was telling the boss, like, hey, do you know that you people I got annoyed of you? So there was an episode we recorded. Those of Franco and Jixana in that episode. Then I found out these people were the short clips I post on TikTok. They download it, they post it on their platform. They download it, they post it on their platform. With that, what? Giving me credit. It's like, what the hell? What is happening? But then I was like, some people say I should confront them. I was like, no, let me leave them. Let me leave. I just left. Then later I found out. So now Kumbe, this person, the owner of Local Discovery, started looking for me. And who is this guy who's doing this Chill Talk podcast? Where is this guy from? Was asking the people who knows me. But it's so unfortunate that some of them denied me. Like, this guy we don't. Yeah, like they denied me. Like they don't know who is this guy. Even some of them like, these are guys who are just grew up in Uganda, in Arua. I think maybe they are Logwara, whatever. And this is a person that sometimes we eat together, man. Yeah, we eat together. This person denied me and that stuff. Yeah, like 3 times. This person continued asking about me. I think just this person saw something in me, and then he continued asking for me. Then one day, I woke up in the morning around 6 a.m. There was no sleep. Then I got my phone. I went to TikTok. Then on the TikTok, I found some people that I know. They're on their live streaming on TikTok live. Then I joined the live. Then the person brought me to join the live. So when I joined the live, then this person greeted me in the local language. Chill dog, Padinho. Well, then I responded, Nalobu. All of them got shocked. Like some of them got shocked, like, hey, so it means you can speak this language? I'm like, yeah, I speak it. No. They don't know. They thought that I'm a Ugandan. They thought that I'm a person from Arua, wherever. They don't know. I'm like, Kumbe, you are on. I was like, yeah, guys, come on. I'm a South Sudanese. I started speaking in the language. So from there, and then they loved the t-shirt. They was like, hey, since we saw you, doing a lot of advertisement of the Chill Talk t-shirt, how can we, because most of them were out abroad. Some of them were in Canada, Australia, America, wherever. So they were like, how can we get these t-shirts? I was like, now, how can I send these t-shirts to those places? Then what I did is like, now, since it is very hard, I'm offering you people my logo. Just I will send for you the logo, can print for yourself. And they are not going to pay me. I just going to do it because they love it. Then they gave me, I was like, now what you have to do, you send for me your WhatsApp numbers. Some of them sent for me their WhatsApp number. And that is when we came to link up with the Local Discovery. And the owner of Local Discovery is Pojulu Queen. Yeah, she's called Layla. Then we started having conversation. The first time we had the conversation, it took us like 2 hours. Getting to know each other, conversation. Then he found out almost what I have in my brain is what they are having. They're trying to build. Then she was like, George, can we be partners? Since we're doing the same thing and that stuff. I was like, partners. Okay. So I did not rush into like accepting the thing because since they have a team, I was like, no, I can just not accept it like that. First call down your team, brief them about who I am, because some of them don't know. Yeah, brief them who I am, and then tell them who I'm going to be like with them. Then they briefed, all of them were happy, they welcomed me. So that is how Chill Talk came together with the Local Discovery. And I'm really enjoying it. It's a nice partnership. Yeah, like I'm really, really happy.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's the story.
It appears that your partnership with Local Discoveries TV has changed the Chill Talk podcast a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Like, because you find that now Local Discovery has its own followers, its own views, and it is people who watch them and that stuff. So like when they saw Chill Talk in, it gave like a very important boost to the platform. Like people get to know like, also there's Chill Talk. And also like, since also I'm doing a partnership with them, there are those people who follow me. So Chill Talk is not doing with Local. You get it? They start following. Then it became, now they continue seeing me both-sided And I'm like, I think these people are working together. Yeah. So like it is really, really very beneficial. Like to all of us, it boosted a lot. Like even sometimes my trip that I go to Juba, it is facilitated by them, by the local. They give me everything I want, and because there's work, because there's something that they want that I provide, and they see it very important, so I go and do for them and that stuff. But I'm really, really happy.
That's amazing. I'm really happy for you. Yeah, it's very good partnership, and I think honestly it has already started and is still taking the Chill Talk podcast to new heights. And honestly, for me and your other colleagues, I think we just can't wait, to see what Chill Talk will become in the next 5, 10, 20 years down the road. Yeah, it already looks a very exciting journey. Yeah. Yeah. It will. It will. And one thing I've learned from, your encounter with the local Discoveries TV team is that you have to put yourself out there. You have to put your work out there because you never know who is going to see it. You see? And you never know who is going to be interested in it. Maybe the next investor is out there.
That is it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There could be another one watching.
Yeah.
Like, George, I want to work with you.
Yes.
You see?
Yeah. And before you know it, they start reaching out. And all of a sudden, you have a partnership like the one you have. Yeah. But also, honestly, another thing that I think I've learned from what you were saying is, and this is probably for anyone that uses just social media, is that it's very important to give credit for someone's work. And not just social media. Any kind of work that you do. If something was created and is the intellectual property of another person, credit that person. It doesn't kill you. It doesn't make you any less. It's, if anything, it actually gives you credibility because people say, you respect people's work rather than stealing it. It brings a shame on you and so forth and all this stuff. Yeah. So it's super good to give credits. Yeah. Belongs to someone, give them credit. Yeah. And honestly, that is how you build a relationship
Because
too.
you work hard for that thing.
I know, man.
Yeah? And then at the end of the day, somebody just won't take it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that time I was really pissed. So when we bring that story up to now, we end up laughing like, because I was annoyed with people. And now at the end of the day, we are now a family.
Yeah. It's amazing, honestly. Like you see, with the partnership that you now have with the local discoveries and now the big names that now come onto your show, that you host, there must be a lot of pressure now that you experience than when you started Chill Talk, let's say a couple of years ago. And probably you are more famous than you were before. And I'm just wondering how, as a very young person that you are, how do you manage that? How do you stay grounded from the pressure, the fame, and the many things, and the girls too?
Yeah. So, man, like I have a very simple life for myself. Right now, I don't believe myself that I'm famous. It's always people tell me that, George, you're known. But I just said like, no, I'm not known. And that helps me a lot, like in terms of how I be. So I live with everyone like I'm okay with everyone. I dress like the way I am. Because like there appear some people where since maybe they have been with other people, other artists, interact with different kind of people. Man, even they forget their friends, like they don't want to greet. Maybe they start changing their style of but I was like, nah, I think that's not me. I think that's not what I want to create the podcast for. Because like some people create something maybe for the status. But nah, that's not what I want. Like I don't see pressure, trust me. I don't see pressure because I put in my brain like, George, you're not known. And that gives me room to do more work. Because the moment I make that mistake that like, since I'm known, it will give me what? A room of relaxing. So like I believe like whatever thing I'm doing is still, so it means I have to make times two, like extra energy, extra pressure. I like the fame, like yeah, like in Juba, like when when I go to Juba, even like I don't believe myself. I was in I was in custom. I was seeing people just wearing chill talk. I was like, do these people know that I'm the owner of chill talk? Huh? So you find that I feel excited, but at the end of the day, sometimes even I pass next to them and they don't know. You get it? Which was good, which is a good thing. Because at the end of the day, if I create like this celebrity lifestyle, you want to create attention, you want to create this. No, like that is not what I want. That is not the goal I want. I just want to live my life, enjoy my life, be with people. And I know right now I'm still not famous. I know after 2 to 3 years, I'll be known like more and more and more. But still, it won't change anything from me. It won't change anything. Even my dressing code. You always see me in my children. Yeah. It won't change my look. The way you found me is just the brain will change because there will be a lot of growth. That is one of the things that I have to what? Instead, make this brain grow. Unless something that will make me distant from you is unless we don't reason together. Because trust me, there are a lot of friends who have left me. Some of them say like I brag, some of them say like I'm proud, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's not that. It's about now, do we reason together? Do we have something in common? You get it? That's why you find that there are some people live with other people because they have the same thinking. But now, like for me, right now, the reasoning I want somebody who wants development, somebody who wants growth, somebody who so like is so angry of doing something. I want to come out from where he is to change a life. So like when I find such kind of person, I'm like, oh nigga, I think we're together. Let us join hand and do it. You get it? So I think I don't see it because the pressure for the girls, like it's crazy. It's crazy. The good thing is that like girls fear me. Yeah. So like I think some of them say I look rude. Some of them say sometimes when I come, I greet them. They just greet me and they walk away. So which is a very good thing. And then at the end of the day is like it helps me. Like when they say like George, there was do you know like I've been dated. So this is what happened.
You've been dated.
Yeah, like several times. So there was this period of time where when I was advertising the t-shirt, so I put my numbers there for each out. Then somebody called me like, hey, is this George? I was like, yeah. She won a t-shirt. She was like, yeah. And a t-shirt, I said, like, okay, which color? Then she described and that stuff. Then she was like, wait, there's something I want to tell you. I was like, yeah, you tell me. That is what? I'm in love with you.
Wow.
I want us to date and that stuff.
She's a straight shooter.
Yeah. She was like, I was like, hey, where do you get that confidence? Because I told her, where do you get that confidence to date me? She was like, yeah, I have to ask it. I was like, no, I don't want. She begged. Yeah, like she begged, but I felt bad for her. But I didn't accept it. You get it? I didn't accept it. So the thing is that right now you find, I don't, because you find ladies are good people. But right now I'm not in the room like to bring them in my life because I'm still building something that can be there to sustain her. So like I be careful in that stuff. Like I be very sensitive in this thing because I don't want to spoil myself. Then just don't want to get somebody pregnant and that stuff. Just in a way because I want to use my fame because people know me. I have to go to ladies. Nah, I rather be like a very supportive person to change their brain of thinking because a lot of them think like being dated with people who are known it's a flex. It's not a flex. You're ruining your life. Mhm. So that's not the kind of platform that I'm thinking to build, like just to get ladies with it. Yeah.
You are definitely a different breed.
Yeah. This thing is very careful. Like it's very, very important. Trust me. Since somebody has like somebody having a platform and use it as an advantage for ladies, it's very bad. You'll destroy that platform. They're artists. They have died because of sicknesses. Some of them maybe being even killed by fellow ladies. Some of them like their career died because of that. Like a lot of like I see mistakes because also for by the way I go and watch mistakes of people who have fallen from the industry in whatever thing they do, and some of them are ladies. Ladies spoil them.
So one has to be very careful with relationships.
Yeah, like have a type of a woman you want. It's very important.
Absolutely.
If you don't have a type, then of course you go to anyone. That's why for me, I have the type of the woman I want. Which kind of woman I want? Then if you are not part of it, because the ladies are beautiful out there. You cannot please all of them. You cannot have all of them. But have something for yourself that can what? Sustain you, that you think can make you happy. But not because I'm famous, I want to do the A, B, C, D.
Yeah.
That is when you're going to spoil yourself. Yeah. So ladies, man, like I'm very careful with that.
Honestly, I think it goes even both ways. Even for ladies, I think it's just very important to be careful about who you get in a relationship with. Yeah, and for men the same thing. Yeah, because some relationships might destroy your life. Yeah, yeah. Some decisions, you say in the name of love and so forth, but some of the things they can lead you to, you can never come back from if you're not very careful. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Maybe as we wind up, what do you hope the Chill Talk podcast would help with when it comes to changing, let's say, the narrative of maybe South Sudan or South Sudanese or refugees in general?
Yeah.
How do you hope, the Chill Talk podcast can contribute to changing narratives around this?
Yeah. It's like because right now I'm seeing a lot of people giving me like thanks like George, thank you so much. You're doing well. It's so inspiring and that stuff.
Yeah.
So it like came like people are seeing like some great progress like in my life because Chill Talk right now is the one feeding me. Chill Talk take care of me and that's how that platform. So like if somebody sees that and then me who is coming from a refugee camp, who's a refugee and that stuff, it means they believe that they can do it. So it becomes a platform of hope, like somebody sees like this guy, like there are those people in the camp like, "Ah, you man, you're chilling with these big people."
Chilling
Huh?
with the big dogs.
Yeah, chilling with the big dogs. Like, how did you do that? You get it? So, but at the end of the day, is about believing in yourself. Like Chill Talk should become a platform where people can believe in themselves that they can do it. So the thing is that it's not only going to narrow it into content creation, but in anything you do. I was in Classic FM, and then they ask me a question like, George, what advice do you have? I'm like, man, I don't have the best answer in this world, advice in this world. But the best thing is like believing in yourself. Like, create something that you think is going to help you. You get it? So, like, that is the whole idea right now. Like, because right now, Chill Talk one day is going to become a company that is going to employ people. You get it? It's going to employ people. And that is a goal where it's going to contribute into the development of the country, reducing job opportunities, creating job opportunities for people. And like there are those people who are out there who can do very good videography. And I bring them. It has contributed to somebody's life. You get it? And then like maybe with time I will need tutors will come and train people about content creation. I've already employed someone. And at the end of the day, I'm impacting a fellow South Sudanese to learn some new skill that they don't have. So the platform becomes like, let people on it. A platform that is coming to give back to people. Because like, there will be a time where I was thinking like, just it's money. Like maybe one day reaching out to the communities, doing charitable work. You get it? Like even though those people that I cannot manage to host them, but I can reach to them and give them the little I got. Giving back to the community is the idea right now. I'm reaching out. You get it? Giving back to the community, helping the needy. There are those people who cannot walk. Maybe they will need some wheelchair. How can Chill Talk do that? So, like, the dream is big. Just as like I was telling some people, if you're thinking like to do a podcast, you want to be like maybe Chill Talk, please, Chill Talk has his own brain. Do something that you know that can change something. I'm not running for the fame. Maybe you're running because you want to be famous. No, do something that you think you can impact people. Because right now, I'm not running for the fame, but I'm running for a platform that a proud South Sudanese will see. There will be, there's this kind of argument, like back then when we were young, when we were in school, there are we South Sudanese and the Ugandan will be like, who is the best artist in Uganda? They were like, Jose Chameleon. And then when we were young, we're like, ours was who? Was Double J the King, the Silver X, Kawaja. And you find that you feel proud mentioning because these are the people that when these Ugandans go and search, you see their work. And their work is good. And that is the kind of the platform that I want to create so that people will be proud to say like what? Chill Talk is one of the South Sudanese platform that is doing well. They are proud. They can mention it. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Podcast. Look at this. It's doing well, and start comparing it, and it creates like a pride of the country.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, that is honestly amazing. And I think like you have achieved that already and you're continuing to achieve more.
Not yet.
People are already, pointing the Chill Talk podcast as, the bar. And so you've set a very high bar for all of us. Yeah, big shoes for us to fill. And it's good shoes because we need that kind of a challenge. It's very important. That's how we grow. Yeah. So, thank you for doing that. Maybe in just like, I don't know, 30 seconds, when you reflect on your journey, from a refugee in Rhino refugee camp to becoming a student to founding and now hosting the Chill Talk podcast, what's the biggest lesson you have learned that you would want anyone who would come across this episode to learn to?
I have a lot to think. So I think one thing that I would learn from all this journey is like, George, you can do it. Trust me. That is the only thing I have. That is the voice I have inside me. Even sometimes there are some people that you feel like you cannot reach them, but then at the end of the day, it's like, George, you can do it. I always have this saying like, don't envy, but learn that thing that you want to learn. Sometimes I can be crazy that I see some people having cameras wherever. Instead of envying, thinking of how you can get that thing. You get it? So like I be humbled, I be disciplined in my life, because that is the most important thing. Like I feel like I have to be humble in life. I have to be disciplined, discipline yourself, and then believe that, George. I say like, George, you can do it. I don't know, I cannot speak good English, but it's still like, George, you can go and watch movies, you can go read so that you can improve on your English. Learn, like that is the thing. Like out of all this journey, it's not an easy journey, but I put the belief in myself that yes, George, I can do it. And trust me, I have a person that when I hit that person, I host that person. I'm like, yes.
You have achieved it.
I feel like, yes, I've done something. You get it?
Yes. Who is that person?
I won't tell you. I won't tell you. It could be you. Because still I didn't host you. Yeah. So, but it's a surprise. It's my own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but trust me, it's not an easy journey. But always saying to yourself, to anyone there, that you can do it. Trust me, you can do it. Always think positive. Put negative energy out. Because when you think, the brain is a very funny thing. Do you know that I reach up to extent of watching things related to the brain, how the brain function, how even the brain is divided. Where is the part of thinking? Where is the part of keeping, like, so that I make sure that what I be in the right track. A lot of people talk bullshit about me. George, you cannot do it. George, your episodes are trash. George, this. George, your audio. George, I was like, George, you can do it. That's all. Being positive in your life means a lot. But when you put always negative, trust me, you'll get always negative.
Advice. Thank you. Honestly, King George, thank you very much for sharing your story, your experiences, and your insights with us at the Spark It podcast. I really appreciate it. You have your story, and you have shown us that it's very important to believe in ourselves and to start and keep learning along the way. And to our listeners, please go and check out the Chill Talk podcast on all platforms that you listen to your podcast and on TikTok. Until next time, take care and thank you very much. Peace.
Peace.